Hello, everyone. Welcome to UnPontificated. My name is Vuyo. And this week we've had quite a bit going on in the world. We had the Pope. We have a new Pope, Pope Leo the 14th. I believe that's the name he gave himself. It's a cardinal from Chicago, from the US, the first American Pope. I mean, I'm not Catholic, but I guess the Catholics, a lot of people are excited about this Pope. He's a champion for the poor. And we'll see if he's a champion for Orthodox Christianity and see what he does with the papacy. And yeah, I mean, that's something that happened this week. We also have the rhetoric in the Alberta legislature, the separation rhetoric just really heating up. I personally don't think Alberta will separate. I think the rhetoric usually heats up quite a bit when there's a Liberal prime minister, because especially if it's a climate activist type prime minister who wants to keep our resources in the ground. So you have Saskatchewan and Alberta, you know, with their backs up, and Danielle Smith is really turning on the juice. But in this episode of UnPontificated, by the way, guys, please like the episode. It really helps the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you like the content. I want to talk about the meeting that Mark Carney had with Donald Trump in the White House this past week on Tuesday. I'm not sure why Mark Carney went to the White House. I mean, this is something he could have done before the election. But he chose to do it after, and there's been a lot of speculation as to why. And when you see what happened at the White House, yeah, you can make a case for Mark Carney talking strong before the election, and then because now he's got elected, he's basically the one who's kneeling at the feet of Donald Trump, as he accused the electorate, or he told the electorate that Pierre Poilievre would be the one who would be kneeling instead of standing up to Donald Trump. But there was a lot that was said during the election by Mark Carney regarding the US and Donald Trump.
Never. But these are not idle threats. President Trump is trying to break us so that America can own us. That will never, ever happen.
So tough language, tough talk, and then this.
But thank you for your hospitality and above all for your leadership. You're a transformational president, focus on the economy with a relentless focus on the American worker, securing your borders, ending the scourge of fentanyl and other opioids, and securing the world. And I've been elected with my colleagues here, with the help of my colleagues here. I'm going to spread the credit to transform Canada with a similar focus on the economy, securing our borders. Again, on fentanyl, much greater focus on defense and security, securing the Arctic and developing the Arctic. And you know, the history of Canada and the U.S. is we're stronger when we work together, and there's many opportunities to work together. And I look forward to, you know, addressing some of those issues that we have, but also finding those areas of mutual cooperation so we can move forward.
That's great. Very nice. Thank you very much.
So there you have it. Mr. President, can you bend over, please? Turn around. So, look, it's not like we expected quite a lot from this meeting. We didn't expect to have any kind of, we did expect Trump to lower the tariffs. Trump pretty much said, if you watch the meeting, that he's not lowering the tariffs. He said that he still believes that Canada should be the 51st state. And I do appreciate that Mark Carney actually said that we would never be the 51st state, and he stayed pretty strong on that, which was good. Even when Trump said never say never, then Mark Carney pretty much started rhyming off never, 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 never. That was kind of funny. But issue with Mark Carney and what he kind of got himself in a hole was his tough talk prior to the election. And then what was he going to do when he got to the White House? He can't go in there and start talking tough again. He does have to kind of now stroke the ego of Donald Trump. But what is that going to do now to his base? What is that going to do to the people who elected him to be tough on Trump? Because a lot of his tough talk, his talk of the 51st state danger that Trump is imposing on Canada, which I personally think is a hoax. I just think that Trump is trolling. Of course, we're not going to be the 51st state. Look at what's happened with Greenland. Do you hear anything more about that? Do you hear anything more about Panama and any of that stuff? No, you don't hear that. But the reason why we're still hearing the 51st state is because people bring it up. You have the reporter down there, a CBC reporter, bringing it up and asking Trump, or asking the press secretary about the 51st state just before the election, just so that it can get back into the minds of Canadians. So if we stop talking about the 51st state, then Trump will stop talking about the 51st state. So can we just please stop talking about it? It's not a thing. It's not a thing. And now we have Mark Carney still milking it, right? So that he can get his mandate going. He can justify all his spending, his, what is it, $160 billion extra in spending that he's going to be doing. And we'll see how that's going to go. There's a trade deal that the UK has with America, with the US. They've done a deal. Now here's some notes on the deal. It is hailed as a great deal, but it has yet to be finalized. Let's see. As Trump says here, the final details are being written up. In the coming weeks, we'll have it all very conclusive. So could it change? There's no indication of that, but so far it isn't final. Normally, formal trade deals need to be approved by Congress. It's not clear whether this counts as a formal trade deal. And as Trump has shown time and again, he changes his mind. Okay. Now in this deal, that's not yet finalized, but at least there's something on paper, and it's looking like actually. So what does the UK get? The big win is on autos. Last month, Trump administration imposed a 25% tariff on all foreign cars going to the US. The UK has been desperate to get that changed or ideally eliminated. The US is the largest destination for British cars, accounting for more than a quarter of UK auto exports in 24, according to the Office for National Stats. Thursday's agreement allows the UK to send a maximum of 100,000 vehicles to the US at a lower tariff rate of 10%. That's about the same number of cars the UK sent to the US last year. So instead of 25%, 10%. And it appears to be another win. 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum will be dropped. And the US gets more beef and ethanol exports to the UK. So the deal hasn't been finalized, but it's looking like in the coming weeks it may be. I think if it is, it'll be very interesting what it might do to Carney's government. Don't forget, we are going to have a cabinet coming up this coming week. I think on Tuesday, the cabinet's going to be named. If it just looks like a Trudeau cabinet, I am not confident that we're going to have much success with anything. If it's going to be the same foreign minister, the same finance minister, and all this, then, you know, really, what's the point? Why did we have an election? We've just given the Liberals a 4th term. Shame on us. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe having the same foreign minister and the same is a good thing. Maybe they've learned something from from Trudeau, from the Trudeau years, and Mark Carney is not Justin Trudeau. We shall see. But if the UK has got a deal, if Trump wants to get away with, wants to do away with the trade deal that we currently have, which he actually was part of getting going, the Kuzma, you know, you heard how he slammed Chrystia Freeland in the meeting that he just had there with with Mark Carney. He was talking about Chrystia.
USMCA. Is the U.S. prepared to walk away from that pact?
From what pact?
USMCA.
No, it's fine. It's there. It's good. We use it for certain things. It's there. The USMCA is a good deal for everybody. I won't say this about Mark, but I didn't like his predecessor. I didn't like a person that worked for. She was terrible, actually. She was a terrible person. And she really hurt that deal very badly because she tried to take advantage of the deal and she didn't get away with it. You know what I'm talking about. But so, you know, we had a bad relationship having to do with the fact that we disagreed with the way they viewed the deal. And we ended it. You know, we ended that relationship pretty much. The USMCA is great for all countries. It's good for all countries. We do have a negotiation coming up over the next year or so to adjust it or terminate it.
Anyway, so there you have it, talking about Chrystia Freeland there, and that was kind of funny. He also mentioned, talked about Trudeau and how he called Trudeau governor, and that made Carney look a little bit uncomfortable, kept his mouth shut, bit his tongue. We didn't want a Zelensky moment. That would have been a disaster, a Zelensky moment.
Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on this
position to
question.
dictate that.
That's exactly what
Remember
you're
this.
doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
You
We're
will-
going to feel very
you will
good.
feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the very
bad position,
beginning
and he
of the
happens
war.
to be right about
From the
it.
very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a good
Brown,
position. You don't have the
the
cards right now. With us, you start having
not
cards.
playing cards.
Right now, you don't.
I'm very
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think
Anyway, I remember that part, you know, we're not playing cards, you're playing cards. Can you imagine if Mark Carney started, you know, going off like that with Donald Trump in there, and you have J.D. Vance kind of pitching in, giving his 2 cents. Well, listen, Mr. President, you're busy trolling us about being the 51st state. You called my predecessor the governor. You're really not treating us very well. I mean, Donald Trump would say the very same thing. Listen here, you're in no position to dictate to us right now what we can and cannot say. If I want to troll you, I can troll you. You're in no position. Yeah, we subsidize you to the tune of $200 billion. We're the ones who are our military is protecting you from the Chinese and the Russians. Without us, you'd be gone. You're in no position. Anyway, guys, it was a fun. I think it was a nice meeting. I don't think he should have gone. I mean, or he should have gone before the election. But anyway, we shall see. We're going to have the cabinet on the 12th, and then we will have the Parliament coming back on the 26th, I believe, of May, with a throne speech with King Charles III coming to read the throne speech. And then no, we'll have a little bit of a parliament, and then they'll no doubt they'll close for the session for the summer. Sometime during the summer, we'll probably have an election, a by-election in Alberta for Pierre Poilievre. We'll see how that goes. I think he'll be elected. And then in the next section, come September, we'll have now gung-ho, see what's going to happen in Parliament, leaders going there, question period. That'll be exciting. But really, we have what Mark Carney has promised us. Remember when he channeled Pierre Poilievre? What did he say? I got it written down here. He said he's going to cut taxes for the middle class, right? We're all watching to see how he does with the carbon tax. He's got the industrial carbon tax, so we'll see. But he's going to cut taxes. He's going to build homes, build, baby, build. He's going to fix the budget. I'm not sure how he's going to fix the budget, and how we're going to have a balanced budget. I don't know when. He doesn't know when. Not with the $160 billion of extra investment. But he's going to build a military. He says he's going to get our military to 2% of the NATO target, at least by 2030. We shall see. And then, of course, he's going to stop the crime. Very Poilievre-esque. Pierre Poilievre. All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys next time. You guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you. God bless you all. Bye.